How did you keep it a secret that you won?
It's tough, man. It was 8 months of keeping it a secret. The only person that knew was my wife, because I told her the day I got back.
I made it to you, and I'm Beast Game Season 2 champion.
Stop it.
And I won $5.1 million.
No. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And that's where you saw that reaction video from.
Yeah.
And then I think January or so, I got an NDA for Jeff so he can find out. So we could talk about like...
Who gave you the, like, how did you get the NDA to the previous winner?
Yeah, so I just reached out to their production crew. I reached out to Mike Cruz. He's one of the executive guys on the show, and asked if that would be possible. And he said, yeah, we can make it happen so you can start game planning and, getting good advice from Jeff.
But if you're reaching out to Jeff saying, hey, can you sign this NDA for me? It's pretty clear what's happening.
Oh yeah, that was after the fact. I personally didn't reach out to Jeff. I reached out to Beast teams.
And then they reached out to Jeff.
Yeah, they reached out to Jeff. And then after he signed it, then they connected us together via text.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many people on the Beast team knew about it?
I'm not too sure. I think there was maybe, because the finale was in Saudi Arabia. I don't think they had like the whole production crew out there. So whoever was on set that day were the people that knew. And I'm sure more people knew too, because they had to edit the videos. Amazon had to play their role in it. So I'm sure there was a lot of people that knew.
What's crazy though is that the winner was spoiled. You were spoiled very early on in Polymarket.
Yeah.
And it became very obvious who the winner was very clearly.
Yeah. That was stressful because I didn't want them to think like I'm out here telling people and stuff like that. But
how much money did you make betting on Polymarket that you won?
$5 million.
Yeah, man, I doubled it. But $5 million.
I put my whole life savings into it. No, but yeah, I was very stressed because I think like maybe week 6 or 7, I had people like sending me screenshots of the prediction markets.
And what were they saying?
They're like, "Hey, have you seen this? Like, did you win?" Like,
and what would you say?
I was like, I think they're just voting for me because it's like a 6-7 trend going on, like that meme, or like I don't know how accurate this is. Like, don't ask me for any advice. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, type of thing and stuff. Or I would just like ignore it. Like if it was like my close friends or something like that, just not give them anything. Because all the people that hit me up were like my close friends, and they had zero idea that I won.
But then
the finale.
Those who lost, were they not able to tell other people that they lost?
They weren't supposed to. I'm sure some people did, and I think some people did, from conversations that were had, but you're not supposed to. You're supposed to abide by the NDA that you signed. So
it's so impossible because you can't,
because people are going to be coming back sooner than others.
Well,
yes.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
The people that got out early, they were very in tune with what was going on the show. Because I remember getting my phones, and then seeing like there's a group chat on Instagram, and they were like detective level, like looking to see who was active on Instagram when, and like when was the last post, and like activity wise. So like,
yeah, that's true, because if you're posting on Instagram, then that would suggest that you got out.
Yeah.
And so did they tell you can't do that?
No, they gave you your phone back, and then you had free reigns.
And they just said, hey, just don't tell anyone.
Yeah. I mean, we all signed NDAs. So, but yeah, it's like, I remember seeing a chat and like conversations with people. There were people in there just eyeing and stalking people's pages. Well, not necessarily stalking, but looking at for activity.
It's going to be impossible to enforce.
Yeah.
Because unless if you keep everyone there for the entire duration.
Yeah.
You have to keep everyone for the entire duration, but then you get the footage and you have to maintain, like, you have to keep that final episode, or no, probably the whole season to like a small group of people.
Yeah.
And then how do you prevent any one of the people at Amazon from like reviewing the thing?
Yeah.
You probably have 50 to 100 people who have had their eyes on that final episode to approve it.
I think there's like over 1,000 production workers and stuff like that on set. But
yeah, because you could narrow it down. Best case, top 10.
I can't believe they did it for the first season. How they kept it a secret.
I don't think Polymarket was.
No, it was Polymarket had Jeff winning by like week 2 or 3.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, it happened in both seasons.
I didn't realize that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I guess I'm only recently into Polymarket, and
Yeah.
I watch a lot of the odds.
Yeah.
And you could see as soon as something spikes up, I'm like, okay, that's an insider. They know what's about to happen.
Yep.
We're about to invade this because no one's going to dump $10 million into this obscure bet.
Exactly.
And sure enough, it happens.
Yeah.
So I'm now paying attention to it.
Yeah. And yeah, it's wild, man. Like I didn't really know too much about Polymarkets until our season, and people were sending me screenshots, and then just looking back and seeing like the odds shift heavily, like week 2 or 3, like me going from like, I don't know, 5%, 10% to like 50, 60%. So I was like, dang, this definitely some insider trading
All
going
you have
on.
to do is look at probably the top 5 largest accounts
Yeah.
and say it's probably one of them. But even
Yeah.
then, it's somewhat anonymous.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what if it's someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone? How far down the line do you have to go?
Exactly.
And at that point, if they're risking their money from like a tip to a tip to a tip, I think they kind of deserve it at that point because they could just as easily be wrong.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They went through that whole thought process of how to like, go through multiple like different levels of like security in a sense of
Yeah.
how to like do this.
So were you unable to spend any of the money because that would be a display of newfound wealth?
No, I mean, as soon as like for, I think it was episode.
Or I guess no, they gave you the money after it was.
Yeah,
Right.
but like episode, I think it was 7 or 8. I made the $100,000 and stuff like that, so I was able to spend it as soon as I got it. But the $5 million didn't come to the finale, so.
So what did you spend the $100,000 on?
So yeah, I've only really spent money on that, and that's literally just been for like legal services, financial services, just to get the best advice of.
You
how to-
haven't treated yourself or your family to anything?
No, not
Not
yet.
even like a steak dinner.
No, we haven't had the time. My wife's work schedule is busy. My work schedule is busy. We really haven't had that much time, and then trying to figure out vacation time because my wife travels for work too. So she's got a trip coming up this upcoming week, and then she's got like a trip every month or so.
How does it feel clocking into your job now as opposed to before?
There's definitely days where I'm just like, oh man, I gotta go to work and do this. But once I get there, man, like what helps me get through the days is just being around like awesome people. The people that I work with really help the day go by faster and make the job enjoyable.
A really scary truth is just how vulnerable your digital life is, and most people have no idea until it's too late, and then they're stuck spending several hours trying to solve a problem that they did not create. So don't be like my roommate Kevin, because I kid you not, his identity got stolen 2 years ago, and guess who's still paying for it? Me. Because the one thing he still can't recover is his Venmo.
See, the trouble with identity theft and fraud is that it doesn't happen all at once. And by the time you notice, usually the damage is done.
And that's exactly where our sponsor OmniWatch comes in. It catches problems early by keeping an eye on your identity, credit, financial accounts, and online activity altogether. And the best part is that setting it up only takes a few minutes, and then from there, it works quietly in the background all day, every day.
OmniWatch monitors your credit activity, data breaches, and the dark web using AI-powered detection tools that are able to spot suspicious activity in real time. If it finds something unusual, you get an alert that tells you exactly what happened and the next steps to take.
You can lock your credit, secure all of your accounts, and fight fraud with just one click. If identity theft does occur, OmniWatch connects you with US-based specialists to restore your identity and handle the damage with up to $2 million in identity theft insurance.
So head on over to omniwatch.com/iced to get 50% off of your first month and see for yourself if your information's actually secure.
Seriously, guys, the peace of mind is worth it. Protect your credit, identity, and online data today. Again, that is 50% off your first month at omniwatch.com/iced.